Hello everybody, this is Conquering History Games and welcome back to a new campaign here in Hearts of Iron 4, Equestria at War. We're on version Brothers Feud 1.3.5.5 and I'm going to be playing another minor country today. Although after this I think I'll maybe switch it back up and go play somebody a little bit bigger. But we are going to be playing as Longsword. Now this is going to be kind of a little bit of a different campaign in terms of presentation. For example, there's going to be two cuts you're going to see. Now, anybody who's ever watched me play Hearts of Iron 4, you guys know that I basically always just air all the uncut footage. But one thing I'm considering doing here is because, spoiler alert, we're going into a civil war almost immediately. I'm thinking about there's probably going to be a cut between when the civil war starts and then I'm going to pick it back up where I begin, because the Civil War is very, very difficult and you need some luck. So what I'm probably going to do is record this up until the Civil War starts, create a save file, cut it, and then I'll bring you back in when I have my successful attempt. Hopefully it'll be my first one, we'll find out. I'll be sure to say which attempt number it is. The second cut, though, is going to be after I win the Civil War, because I need other things to happen in the world in order to achieve the full potential of Longsword, like as far as exploring what possibilities it has as a nation. And I have already created a save file where I was playing as somebody else. Go check out I think it was when I was doing the Communist Diamond Mountain. It was during one of the Diamond Mountain campaigns, but where all the circumstances lined up. So I'm going to then go to that save file and continue to play from there. Now, the only reason I'm not picking it up from there is because I don't want people to think, well, that's cheating, you didn't win the Civil War. So I'm going to win the Civil War first to prove I can do it, and then we're going to pick it up at that save file. Got it? Okay. So enough talking, let's jump into it. So this is a very, very nasty country. Oops, sorry, I used the N-word, nasties. Sorry, Lacey Evans. But we're going to go, here to the County of Longsword under Count Pallas Dusktalon. Which, there's a description here and down here. Let's read what they all say. The current head of the noble Dusktalon family, Pallas, assumed leadership not long after the County of Longsword declared independence from the Griffonian Empire. So this is in the second continent. At first, he was content to continue the proud Longswordian tradition, but everything changed when he came in contact with the growing group of knights who called themselves the Reformistan. Their ideology and way of thought completely changed Pallas, and he set forth to implement their policies in Longsword, which culminated in the current bloodshed against the ponies. His single-minded zeal towards achieving purity in Longsword compensates for his lack of proper leadership qualities, resulting in a dangerous obsession for attaining his dream at any cost. A staunch ally of Hellquill, the small county of Longsword has weathered many assaults from the river ponies. So yeah, Hellquill, this is the other. These are basically two areas in what used to be the Eastern Griffonian Empire that have been they're basically meant to shield, quote unquote, the Empire against the ponies to the east. They've stood together against the tide as battle brothers, but since they've gained independence from the Empire, Longsword has enjoyed relative stability. This is pretty much saying the same thing. You know, I probably should have just jumped in here. So here we are. We are County of Longsword. We're going to not do historical AI, although this doesn't... Just because I want to see what happens if we'll get the rolls. Because if we get the rolls in this game, then I'll go there. If not, I've got the backup save file. You know, it kind of reminds me of, I'm just realizing what I'm doing right now. So I don't know if anybody has ever watched Pokemon speedruns, but one of the key parts of Pokemon speedruns is you have to have a decent Pokemon at the start, meaning its stats. And so I have often wondered how when people do things like awesome games done quick, how do they know they're going to get a good Pokemon in the time it takes for them, because they're doing it live. And then I found out that turns out at least one guy, he was doing Emerald, I think, and he said, okay, I'm going to try to roll the Pokemon 8 times. If that doesn't work, I've got a cartridge where I already have a save file where I picked one up, because no, but what if he was getting horrible rolls? He'd be there all day. Anyway, so this is us, the County of Longsword, on the eastern border of the Griffonian Empire. The Knights of Longsword were formed shortly after the year 800, when Emperor Grover II of the Griffonian Empire retreated from the east, unable to conquer the ponies living there. He formed the Imperial Marches of Longsword and Hellquill, and gave both of the knightly orders the eternal quest to defend Gryffindom from the ponies and to serve the Empire dutifully. However, despite our honorable service, the Empire succumbed to its own corruption and weakness. By the year 979, when Grover V was crowned emperor, only the heartlands of the Empire still remained loyal. The Empire's reign was over, and thus our oaths of loyalty were not renewed. Without the Empire's protection and guidance, a new group gained traction within our society. The Reformistan, also called the Black Cloaks by its enemies, is a movement of Griffin supremacy, aimed to exert its absolute dominance over pony kind and destroy said race to expand the living space of all Griffins. Their tenets appealed to many of the knights and elders within society, and thus a takeover was achieved. However, after all these years of reprisals and oppressing ponies and political opponents within the country, the voices of protest have grown louder. If we're not careful, the calls of protest could soon turn into screams of rebellion. So basically, we're genociding the ponies. Central Griffonia, the region, this is just some regional stuff. It doesn't really matter. We got to get through the Civil War first. Here's the technology stuff. Remember, always go check out my Introduction to Equestria at War video if you want to understand the mechanics and stuff, so that way I don't have to talk about it at the start of every video. Changelogs, anything in reference to us? Sombra. Yeah, I might do Sombra. I definitely think I might. Not only am I going to do a major nation, I think whatever's the next campaign, I probably am going to swing back over here to the west. Maybe. Just, keep it fresh, keep bouncing back and forth between the continents, but there's just so much to play. Okay, national spirits, what have we got? Modest literacy. This is actually not so bad. There's definitely countries that have it worse. And the whole continent is pretty much afflicted by this. Low poverty, again, I've definitely seen worse, but here is the bad part. The Longswordian Bloodbath, more formally known to outside observers as the Longswordian Genocide, this horrendous deed against pony kind and common decency, is being carried out by the hated Count Paulus Dusktalon and his Reformistan allies. Thankfully, not everyone within Longsword is willing to simply allow the Count to go through with his plan, as both elements of the military and pony partisans have intensified their efforts at stopping the mad Count. So, everything except democracy is getting a boost in popularity, but we're fascists, so cool with me. Daily political power gain is reduced, recruitable population is cut in half, stability and war support is down by 30%, and improved maintenance cost is just horrific. Okay, we've got, wow, we get 3 research slots, nice. What's going to actually be useful right away, though? Try to get this, and, well, I guess it really doesn't matter, does it? We want maybe the soft attack. Or, damn. The speed boost. I'm only going to really be able to get one of these. Probably not even that. No, who am I kidding? I can't do any of that shit. Sorry, didn't mean to curse. I didn't mean to curse in this game where we genocide people. Or ponies, as may be the case. Yeah, let's just get the better infantry equipment. Okay. Let's try maybe to get one more. Or, ooh, maybe I should... Here's an idea. What if I tried to just make a fort? How long would that take me? Get it done in May. Maybe that's the way to go. Just build a fort, help me protect the capital. Let's try that. Okay, so, we've got 3 different paths we can take here. Resist and bite, oppose the Count, and the plan continues. I believe that, let's see. I believe this is the socialist path. Yeah, this is where the ponies ride up. This is where the military can't deal with Dusktalon, and they say, okay, look, this is out of control. We have to coup him. And then the plan continues is when we go Dusktalon. And this is, without a doubt, the most difficult path. So, the pathetic ponies have breathed their last. We shall not stop until the last pony is dead and buried. Glory to the Reformistan, our saviors. So there's actually going to be quite a lot of events that we're going to run into. Let's focus on just, infantry equipment all the way. We've only got 3 divisions. That kind of sucks. But I've got some... I've never pulled this off before. I should reiterate that. But I do have some plans. Don't know if they'll work. Not the slightest clue. Okay, so we have Conrad Silvertalon here, our level 4 field marshal. He is going to be in charge later. There's just not much we can do about that. Okay, but we'll put him in charge just for role-playing purposes. And we're going to have Rosa Heidenreich as our general. Really, I want Scavenger, right? Oh, yeah, I don't have the command points. Okay, so that's the most we can do for now. Let's kind of change these colors a little. Something like, no. There. Yeah, I think that'll work. Okay. To 5 speed we go. And then up here is Hellquill, who I might also play sometime, but I don't really know too much about them. Let's see, Proclaim the Kingdom. You see, I don't know if they actually have anything that lets them expand outwards. Okay, so the plan continues. A strong crowd of about 400 griffins gathered in Swordson's central square, that's our capital, in front of the Count's residence. Count Dusktalon, speaking from his balcony, was in the middle of giving a fiery speech. The ponies have brought nothing but ruin to Longsword. They refuse to... Oh, cool, this guy has some stuff there. They refuse to accept their proper place. They refuse to acknowledge the superiority of the Griffin race. We cannot realize our full potential with their kind around. They must all be put to the sword. As his speech concluded, the riled-up reformist then began screaming for death to all the ponies and fired celebratory shots from their rifles to the sky. The dream of a pure longsword would be fulfilled. Oh, jeez, I have not studied German in so long. Wir werden unser Land reinmachen. So fascism goes up. We're going to be seeing a lot of adjustments to popularities and things like that as we go through here. Now, these are all pretty quick focuses, by the way. All 14 days. So I don't think it really matters which order we go in. These are all events, just saying what's happening. Some of our generals are insufficiently loyal to the cause. They will be replaced with more suitable griffins who will perform their jobs without complaints. Okay, now let's read his bio here. What have we got? The current head of the noble Dusktalon family, Paulus assumed leadership not long after the county of Longsword declared independence from the Griffonian Empire. At first he was content to continue the proud Longswordian tradition, but everything changed when he came into contact with the growing group of... Oh wait, didn't I read this already? Yeah, we did. Okay, I did. The royal we did. So we're just going to knock all these out. Staffing the army. For the longest time, the military has been littered with spineless dirt griffins, or even worse, ponies. This cancer infests every level of the army from top to bottom. If we're ever going to achieve our dream of a pure longsword, we're going to start with rooting out filth from the most prestigious ranks of our beloved military, which will of course be pivotal to our dream as well. We can't order the troops to eliminate these overgrown rats if one is leading them, or worse, a pureblood Longswordian sympathizing with them. It'll be no issue swapping out these talentless fools with members of our own beloved organization. Reformists and members of the purest of Longsword, obviously we'd be the most fit to rule every office of government. Pure future requires a purified military. This will weaken the Militärausschuss, or something like that. Is that new? I don't remember that. That little indicator. Honest accidents. A little over a month has passed since we began eliminating impure elements of the military. The process has been rather swell, with plenty of loyal pony officers being relieved of their station at the barrel of a gun. As expected, news of these dismissals haven't appeared, as we can't have the prey throwing a tantrum at us retaking our country back. It's our birthright. These oversized rats have no place here after all. Though trouble in paradise has reared its ugly head in a few recent occasions where regular patrols and even training exercises have ended in deadly accidents for our new officers. Be it a patrol ending with some vile bandits or lone communists shooting an officer dead, or mortar test fire going way off trajectory and killing some key personnel, there have been some sketchy incidents happening. We don't know exactly what's going on, but it's a cause for alarm. Accidents? Your actions backfire horribly. Less pony power, less political power, less stability. Oh no, who could have predicted this? How many guns am I building a day? 2, am I reading that right? 2.3 guns a day. Too busy cleaning the country, I guess. Alright, coup attempt in Lake City. So, public executions. The army has been purged, and effectively we call the shots now. Literally, after a tedious month in waiting, the time has arrived for our brand new, pure-minded Longsword military to roll out into the open public and begin a social purification of our enemies. Communist, pony, or any other brand of traitor. Oh shit. Sorry, you guys will have to pause and read that one later. I'm so sorry. Okay, I'm gonna just pause it from now on. Because the flavor, somebody wrote all this out, it's worth reading. Alright, this one first, or shit. Okay, a lesson to the disloyal. In order to properly create the pure Longswordian state we promised to our fellow Griffins, we must appropriate the now legally owned pony businesses and property to a much better handled by Longswordian citizens. Of course, much of these lands and buildings will have to be operated by the government until a buyer is found, regardless of whichever it will still be better for the country at large. Ponies can never be trusted and have no business owning property, or amassing any notable amount of wealth. Fortunately enough, we managed to bust a rising pony-dominant business district local to the city of Harsingen too. If not for our intervention, there's no telling how much worse that infection would have gotten. Now we can put these factories to good use, so we get a civilian factory and some political power. Okay. Partisan reprisals. Well, we underestimated the strength of the resistance, and it seems they were waiting for this moment to strike out. Barely a week has passed since we began our social cleansing, and already there has been numerous organized retaliations across the more disloyal provinces of the country. Town squares being overrun outright, with any government workers or reformistan members getting shot, hanged, or worse. These partisan animals have struck hard in our moment of glory. We'll need to regroup and plan another string of executions lest we lose momentum and control of the situation. The resistance is a very, very real threat. Wait, actions backfire horribly, lose pony power, political power, stability. So there goes that, I guess. Mysterious disappearances. Things just went from bad to worse. Reports are now coming in from across the country of multiple key personnel going missing for any array of reasons. Apparent abandonment of station, tall tales of pursuing forbidden love, anti-partisan operations going wrong. The list goes on. There's far too many of these reports to even count off as genuine too. It's almost as if... That's it! The military is still compromised! Our previous month's purges were not enough to contain this cancer. There is no other solution than for another round. There is no other explanation for these numerous disappearances than to proclaim we have not been thorough enough. We must act quick. In fact, quick is an understatement. We must act now! We lose army experience. Well, we're already at 0. Pony power, political power, and stability. An explosion at by the way, this is the city we've been talking about, Harsingen. As of this morning, merely 2 days after the seizure of Harsinger's Sunny Days Industrial District, a series of explosions went off. The series, type, and areas of damage were all too organized to have been some freak accident. The ensuing explosion proceeded to collapse numerous levels of the factory before it ultimately fell in on itself from lack of support pillars. Fortunately, only a lone safety inspector died, but there remains the question of how this happened. Some local loyal supporters reported the owner, Sunny Day, was staunchly anti-reformistan and had a history of explosives experience. If it's anyone's guess, he set up remote explosives to level his wrongly acquired property. Why didn't this come up when we were screening him and all the others earlier in the week? Someone find this rat and kill him! Looks like we didn't have any good replacements for investigators either. So we lose a... Damn, it's not even damaged, it's just removed from our capital, the factory. Lose political power and lose stability. Fascism went up a little bit. Hey, we're at 56%. That's a majority. The people have spoken. Okay. Next. The obtrusive bureaucrats have been a thorn in our side since the beginning. Okay. Much like the army, the bureaucracy is littered with vile ponies and equines. Equine, sympathizing Longswordians. If not for the reformistan, the entirety of Longsword's government would be overrun with these traitors in the span of a decade. If we're going to undo the damage done, we'll need to work fast. There is plentiful purebred griffins willing to serve the country in its best interest, and there is still plenty of traitors to replace. For a pure future, we'll need a pure government. With the traitors gone, we can finally run this nation properly. So, popularity of non-fascist parties goes down, and we get political power and stability. I think everything's finally working out, guys. Maybe there's not even going to be a civil war. Maybe the people have spoken. Look at that, 62%. They've definitely spoken. Emperor just died over there in the Griffonian Empire. Okay, bureaucratic collapse. Astonishingly, government efficiency has taken a complete nosedive. Tax collectors are collecting for themselves and not the government. Governors are propping up ridiculous laws on a whim with no grounding in reality. The Foreign Relations Department is in complete collapse. Newly in place town officials have directed government money into their own bank accounts, and if they haven't, they have not a clue as to what to do. Nearly every recently replaced position has been filled by a reformistan member that either has little experience for the job, ill intents for their duties, or both of those issues. Did nobody do a screening process for this? That wasn't meant to happen. So we lose 75 political power. We're also going to have a collapsed bureaucracy that lowers our political power gain, increases our consumer good factories, and lowers our stability for 200 days. The Varina Correctional Camp. The prisons are flooded with criminal ponies as of recent weeks. Our efforts to rid ourselves of their degeneracy have been so effective we've simply run out of room to put them. Thankfully, a great-minded member in our midst has come to the bright idea of putting the scum to work in work camps and making sure they're useful until death. An even better idea was come to in the same discussion to open it near Verena. That's over here, along this river. That way, we'll no doubt break the sympathizer stronghold in the city and also eliminate logistical issues considering many of the prisoners are from that damned city too. Smart thinking, everyone! We're finally putting those oversized vermin to use, so this weakens the partisans, increases fascism, increases stability, lowers the pony power and longbow griff, which is here. The southern, because this is basically 3 areas here. So this one's lowered. So, minor setback. Okay. Oh, okay, well, we're going to go like a whole week without events. Bandits declared war on the Liberation Army. Oh, well... We're going to see Broadfield win. Damn, they're just rocketing across the border. Look at them go. Okay. The flaws in our plans. This is a nightmare. It's an absolute nightmare. Count Dusktalon wailed as he sat at his desk, face in claws as he sobbed pitifully. His best laid plans had backfired every step of the way. Every precaution was taken. The traitorous elements of the army were eliminated to begin with. He continued to rant and wave. His ever-trusty second-in-command, Rosa Heidenreich, this is her, by the way, stood idle by the door with her beak downcast, gaze averted from the pitiful state of her benefactor and leader. We massacred them by the hundreds, by the thousands. Arcturus damn them all. Rosa's right claw tightened into a firm fist as this went on and on and on. The Count had always been her benefactor, and truly she appreciated it, but as time progressed, it was a grim reality to realize how awful of a leader Dusktalon really was. She agreed with his dreams, but his methods? Inefficient, unstable, unadaptive. Maybe she'd be best fit for the role. Such traitorous thoughts were often eliminated from her mind. But she couldn't lie. It was beginning to become increasingly difficult to push such thoughts out of her mind as they appeared near daily now. Suddenly enough, the Count's fist slammed down onto his table hard enough to shake everything sitting upon it, his favorite snow globe falling off its edge and onto the floor to shatter into pieces. Rosebud. Perhaps Rosa. He hadn't shed a tear over it, shockingly enough. His mind was focused on larger things. Rally my staff! Rally the commanders! Rally everyone! The Reformistan will not stand for this offense, and for that we will strike back tenfold for every dent put into our plans. The Count bellowed loud and proud, enough so to catch Rosa's direct attention finally. Rosa, if you'll excuse me, I have to clean up here. Now go. Time is of the essence. She would have offered words of wisdom on how this wasn't the best response to these incidents, but she knew he was too set in his ways. Still, he was her superior, and as such, she had to continue following his orders. Unfortunately. Of course, my Count. Arcturus preserve us. So we lose political power, stability, but popularity of fascism goes up. Hey, we're at 69. Alright. An unfortunate situation. Contrary to previous beliefs, the idea to open up a forced labor camp so near to a city chock full of anti-government supporters wasn't the best idea. It didn't take long for local partisan cells to gather up and launch an organized operation on our brand new camp, killing much of its guard and outright overrunning the area before freeing anyone already interned there and recruiting anyone willing to join the growing resistance. What is wrong with these creeps? We've killed so many of them and they just seem to get angrier. Is anything ever going to break their will? What are we doing? Send in the troops now. We lose 500 political power, 500 party power, political power, stability, etc., 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 etc. Damn, can't do that. Okay, mutinous military coming soon. The Visagina's uprising, which is this city here. More disaster has struck our righteous cause as a horde of armed pony rebels rose up in Visaginas during another round of public executions. We don't know where they're getting these weapons from, as there hasn't been any raids on supply depots across the country. Regardless, this situation must be addressed immediately, as the city has always been a prime breeding ground for the pony filth that infects our proud country. No doubt the resistance will attempt to recruit as many as it can into its ramshackle forces. Perhaps encircling the city and starving them out might work? Urban warfare has recently shown to be a very bloody business. Overgrown rats, so we lose 2,500 pony power, lose political power, partisans become stronger, and Longbow Griff is now a demilitarized zone, so we cannot move down there if we wanted to. You see, so like if I tried to do this, that's allowed, but then here, that's a no-no. Have one unit ready to deploy. Alright. Our own military mutinies against us. They've grown soft and refuse to participate in what they call a genocide. Don't they understand we're saving Longsword? The Zeltstadt mutiny. Bastard Silvertalon has struck. That's this guy. He and his army of pigs have sieged Zeltstadt during a night assault. That's over here. In the hopes of breaking the back of our purist movement. Fortunately, we true Longswordians are tougher than these fakes and pony filth believe us to be. Regardless of our tenacity, it does not take away from how terrible a blow this is to our cause. Even with the prepared defense of Zeltstadt, it was not enough, as Silvertalon's forces were larger than we had ever expected. The Reformistans' forces have been stretched thin, and we're in a very terrible position. There's no telling how much longer we can stave off a complete morale collapse in the troops. If the situation does not turn around soon, my count, what are your orders to put down these swine? We will march on Zeltstadt and drown them in their own blood. This makes them stronger. We're going to lose 5,000 political power and 5,000 pony power and some political power, and that's now a demilitarized zone as well. Oh boy, we are in trouble, and I don't think we even have that. No, we kind of have it. But it's coming soon. The fire rises. We are surrounded by traitors and rebels. It doesn't matter how many oppose us. We shall make Longsword a pure nation or die trying. Okay. And so it begins. So this kind of worked out nicely, actually, for me in a half hour. So now I'm not going to have to do any editing. We could just jump into it in the next episode. So, a country in chaos. Count Dusktalon sat slumped in his office, head nested in claws. Outside, the sounds of rioting and battle spread, as the Reformistan were trying to contain the rebels. He wasn't a weeping sort, but even he had to admit Barias seemingly turned his back on them. Where did everything go so wrong? His orders were clear. His subordinates were loyal and willing. He brought purity to Longsword. Quickly, he remembered. Those damned ponies, they were the cause behind everything. The factories, Silvertalon, the arms shipments, his standing with von Katerinburg, everything! Somehow their corrupting magic seeped into every aspect of his nation. I just realized, Silvertalon is still in charge of the army. We gotta switch that out. Okay. So, Dusktalon reached for the drawer and took his reliable pistol. Did anything really matter? As long as he had enough bullets for his enemies, his resolve restored. He called for Heidenreich to join him. Orders will be made. The Reformistan will prevail. For each of them fights, with Arcturius by his side. Longsword shall be a pure nation. Versind unak gaibeg. Probably pronounced that wrong. Sorry, it's been quite a while since I've studied German. But there you have it. It's going to kick off in the next episode, the three-way Civil War, although it's really a handicap match. They're both coming for me. And so I am Conquering History Games. Please subscribe if you have not already. Be sure to click the bell so you're always notified whenever a new video goes up, including the next one in this series. And you should get a laugh out of the first whenever we come back for the second episode, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to say like take 1, take 2, take 3, whatever. So if I go like, here we go, Longsword Civil War, take 14, you can get a little laugh out of that knowing that's how long it's been taking me. So I'll see you then. Have a great one. Goodbye.